Hey everyone, I've got my girl Envy here today, and you're probably looking at her right now like, what the heck is going on with her? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Paradoxing and Chimeraism. I'm Jack. This is Python Addiction. Thanks for joining me. So, yeah, she's an absolutely beautiful girl and has a very unique pattern, and she is one of a kind. This is my girl, Envy. And as you can see from her eyes, if you look at her eyes, they are absolutely nice and emerald green in the color tone. And I mean, she's just stunning. I don't know how well this is translating for you guys on video, but the yellows that are in her are just absolutely amazing. And the patterning that's going on in some ways reminds me a little bit of my Vietnamese Blue Beauty boy in how it changes from one thing to another throughout the entire length of the body. Absolutely beautiful. But you're probably asking, what the heck is she? What's going on? Well, she, genetically speaking, should be cinnamon, Lucifer, pastel, and lesser, as far as the genetics go, based off of what was paired to produce her. She was actually produced by my good friends over at Fork Tongue Exotic. She came to me as a birthday gift, of all things, which was absolutely generous, and I thank them so much for her, as she is truly, truly a beauty. But she is a chimera. And why do I say that she's a chimera and not just a paradox? Well, there's two schools of thought when it comes to paradoxing and chimeraism. And it breaks down to chimera is basically the zygotes, or the the eggs during the fertilization process, the embryos themselves individually, but when you get a chimera, two of them merge together to form one fertilized egg that does the development and produces the animal that you actually see. Whereas for paradoxing is more the genetic code just kind of having a hiccup. Think of birthmarks. And I was trying to figure out what would be a good example when it comes to paradoxing versus chimeraism, as this is a very extreme case of the chimera showing up. And you'll see some other people who have produced animals that have like the split face and stuff like that. So for chimeraism, you don't have to have like that stark split. You can have this blending or fusion or diffusion of pattern, and you don't necessarily need that starkness in order for it to be chimera. But for paradoxing, I want to throw in a clip here. This is one of my piebald females. And as you can see, the black spots that are just random on her body, those are paradox spots. And that is also common with something like, say, a banana or coral glow, as they are already prone to get freckling or the spotting to begin with. But very often with the banana morphs, you'll see larger clumps of those spots throughout, or a band of some sort of them, more often than not. Out of all of the examples of banana that I've seen, and a lot of the paradoxing that I've seen, stems from banana being part of that mix, or occurring more often with banana. I mean, I even produced, if you look back at some of my previous videos from 2023, I actually produced a banana with the black paradoxing. And the chimera is not as common. It does happen. I actually produced my own last year, which ended up in the hands of Nicole over at Obscure Reptiles and Caging. You can visit her channel to actually see the beautiful boy. He's doing absolutely wonderful. But he was a chimera of the Super Mojave mixed in with GHI. And it did a little bit of a different thing, because when you look at him, he's got that pretty much predominantly all white look of just a normal bell complex with that GHI mixed in little splotches. And it's a unique aspect for him, and I'm wondering still on where what he's going to end up testing out, because from what Nicole was saying, she's looking at the possibility of submitting some sheds from him to get some genetic testing eventually. So it'll be great to watch that process on her end of things, to see exactly what he is, because he doesn't have the typical blushing or purpling that a normal Super Mojave would have, but that's all he could be, to be all white in that respect, with just the GHI splotches coming out, is that. So it'll be interesting to see where that comes. Just like with this girl. Eventually, I may get her tested to see, and the reason for with chimeraism in general, you want to kind of get an idea. I mean, you can breed them out and kind of find out that way, but their reproductive organs can actually be different genetically to other parts of the animal. And that's because if you look at her striping and everything like that, what's going on up here could genetically be different than what's going on even just down here. So it's the concept of the chimera is technically two different strands of DNA that have been fused together during the whole birthing process and egg creation and the developmental process. So it's genetically, they can have different genes or different characteristics in different spots. We can't see inside of her to actually see what genes are comprising her reproductive tract. So we won't know unless I breed her and see what she produces, be able to actually guess if her reproductive tract has all four genes that I'm associating directly with her as a snake. So it's going to be one of those things to look at in the future. Do I plan on breeding her? I may not. She's an absolutely beautiful girl, regardless. I mean, she is envy of a lot of people with just the patterning and the uniqueness. There will be never, ever be another one of her or anything like her ever produced anywhere else, as that's one of the other things with both paradoxing and chimeraism, is they're not genetically linked, so you can't breed for it, is what I'm getting at there. So that's what I wanted to discuss today. Let me know what your comments are in the comment section below. Um, have you ever seen any other chimeras? Do you own one yourself? Do you have something that has a unique birthmark or paradoxing? Let me know. If you like this video, please do hit that like button, as that lets me know that you like this type of content. And as always, if you haven't done so already, please do take a moment to subscribe. And while you're at it, click that notification icon, as that'll let you know when I put out new videos. But until next time, this is my girl Envy, and I'm Jack. I love you guys. This is Python Addiction.